Well, breaking news at this hour, we are on the scene tonight of a house fire in Yorktown Heights. News 12's Jade Nash just got to the scene. Jade, what can you tell us so far?
Welcome to CBC Windsor News at 6. I'm Meg Roberts. Thanks so much for spending part of your evening with us tonight.
Now here at 6 o'clock, it is another foggy morning commute. John and Hannah are here tracking the latest weather and traffic conditions this morning as you get ready to head out the door.
Right now on Hoosier News Source, 2 murders at a Bloomington homeless encampment in less than a month. What a Bloomington homeless shelter director says the community can do to help.
Plus, a string of burglaries was reported at dorm halls over winter break. What the thieves got away with and what IUPD says you should do to keep it from happening to you.
And the new city ordinance will soon require public businesses to be more inclusive to those with disabilities. We'll tell you how. Hoosier News Source starts now. A Bloomington woman is in jail and charged with murdering a man at a homeless encampment earlier this month. The second killing at that spot in less than a month. Hello and welcome to Hoosier News Source. I'm Ashton Hackman.
And I'm Callie Lichter.
Breaking overnight, a crash on Geiger Boulevard leaves one driver in the hospital. What we know about the weather at the time of the crash, straight ahead.
And this morning, another warning, waking up to some very dense fog. We now have some widespread alerts that we have to get through. The details on that in just a bit.
And 11 years for a repeat crime. How the family of a DUI victim is reacting to the judge's decision. That's straight ahead. Plus, the snow must go on. How ski resorts are battling unusually warm temperatures. All that's coming up. It's Tuesday, January 30th. You're watching Good Day. We're tracking breaking news overnight. A driver had to be extracted from their car after a collision with a semi-truck on Geiger Boulevard. Fire crews say the crash happened just after 10 last night. The driver went to the hospital with minor injuries. We don't know this morning the condition of the other driver. We do know they were operating a semi with Amazon branding on it. We also don't know the cause of the crash, but our crews were out there last night and the area was quite foggy. Thanks for being with us here on Good Day. I'm Tana Kelly. Of course, with that, we do have to talk about the weather conditions today and, shocker, more fog. Ashley.
And coming up in the best 30 minutes of your day, celebrated author George Valladay steps in to talk about his new book, We Lost Our Fifth Fork, and the inspiration behind that. The Chattanooga Music Club is here to talk about their scholarship auditions coming up. We have those details next. And February means Mardi Gras. The Chambliss Center for Children is bringing a bit of the festivities here to the Scenic City. All this and more, this is the place for Let's Chat.
Welcome to Let's Chat, the Tennessee Valley's premier show focusing on lifestyle and entertainment. Bringing you smart shopping tips, community events, and the newest trends. Now, let's chat.
Good morning, everyone. I know I have a lot of friends watching this morning. Thank you for tuning in to the Tennessee Valley's premier spot for lifestyle and fun, informative news. That's right. Let's get started in our top stories.
The Fox 29 Morning News starts now. We've got you covered.
When you're dealing with feces in any kind of way, that's very important that people know right away.
Just ahead, people living in Riviera Beach and the utilities department divided over contaminated drinking water. Residents saying they've been drinking it for several months without being notified.
President Joe Biden in South Florida this week, making the trip to Palm Beach County and Miami tomorrow. What to expect during this visit.
And sprint into action with the Junior League of the Palm Beaches. There they are this morning. T.A. Walker is highlighting a 5K that will help fuel programs to help kids and women in the Palm Beaches.
I think they wish they could fuel the heaters up because
yeah,
it's a little chilly.
You get the sun rising just a little bit faster. If you head outside, it is definitely on the cool side.
Yeah,
And we're talking about weather as we go into this week. We're seeing seasonal temperatures return with some rain chances on the rise. I'll tell you more coming up.
we have developed some information. We want to get this behind us, and we'll be pursuing that in the near future. Who really did it?
Convicted killer Alec Murdaugh's attorneys dropping another bombshell just minutes after a judge denied their bid for a retrial. They still say Alex is the wrong man. Plus, appalling. That's what Richland County officials are calling an alarming string of arrests involving jail workers. The latest chapter at the embattled detention center. We look at what comes next.
Live from the Fox Studios in Columbia, it's Watch Fox News at 10, Local First.
We begin tonight in Richland County, where officials say the situation at the county jail is, in a word, appalling.
Live from Columbia, South Carolina, WIS News 10 starts now.
A judge denied Alec Murdaugh's bid for a new murder trial after a hearing to determine whether the clerk of court in the highly publicized case tampered with the jury and had an effect on the verdict.
Nick Neville was in the courtroom for today's hearing. He has more on the judge's decision and her words for the clerk of court.
Live from WKYC Studios, this is 3 News at 4 with Laura Queso, Isabel Lawrence, and Matt Rascone.
Good afternoon. Welcome into 3 News at 4 on your Monday. We're happy to start the week with you. I'm Isabel Lawrence here with Laura Queso.
Matt Rascone is on assignment right now. We begin, though, with new information on that tanker truck crash and explosion. This is in northern Summit County. 3 News has learned.
Now at 5, tanker truck explosion. New information tonight in the crash that killed a man and caused a diesel spill in northern Summit County. We have team coverage, including what we're learning about the driver of that truck and how businesses in that area are dealing with the major detours now in place.
New Heights, inside Cuyahoga County's new initiative to help address youth homelessness and how much money officials are putting toward it.
Local layoffs, the Northeast Ohio company that's cutting positions, and how many people will be affected.
And it's tax time. We're going to tell you about the new way some are able to file this year that bypasses tax preparers and sends your returns straight to the IRS. 3 News at 5 starts right now.
Live from WKYC Studios, this is 3 News at 5 with Jay Crawford, Lena Lai, and Christy Paul.
And hello again, Northeast Ohio, and welcome into 3 News at 5. It is great to be with you as always. Thanks for starting another work week with us. Happy Monday to everyone watching at home, and Christy, to you as well.
Sports for All will introduce you to one local group which welcomes kids from all over Ohio who have physical and visual challenges. Turning tragedy into hope, one group of high school students is turning a devastating fire into a way to save lives. We'll hear from the kids who created this program. Are you irrational? If you haven't seen NBC's latest hit show, The Irrational, the star himself, Jesse L. Martin, is going to catch us up on the plot. Plus, find out when he'll make an appearance right here on Front Row. And coffee confusion. It's the latest trend, and it's coming to Cleveland tomorrow. Find out what makes this drink so unique.
From the WKYC Studios, this is Front Row.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome in. It's the Monday edition of Front Row. And yes, we are ready to go. Hope you all had a very good weekend. And thanks.
11 wild weather across the bay, even a tornado and flooding down south. Maybe just a preview of what's to come. A monster storm that could bring life-threatening flooding to other parts of the state. And if you live in Berkeley, there's a 1 in 4 chance you don't have anyone on your side on the city council.
I wish you all the best, but I am resigning. Thank you.
2 council members have now called it quits in a month. And the San Francisco street you won't want to cross on Super Bowl Sunday.
Let's just say Kansas City owns this bar, Niners can own butter, and everybody's happy.
From KPIX, this is the Late News with Sarah Donchi on CBS News Bay Area.
Hello, I'm Sarah Donchi. Wow, it feels like we have talked about rain a lot this week.
And we saw more of it today. But this next round of storms hitting our state could spell some serious trouble for your friends and family down south. More on that.
At noon, construction is happening at the site of this year's St. Jude Dream Home. I'm Daniela Oropeza, and I was at this morning's groundbreaking event. I got to speak with this year's new builders, and you'll have to hear what they say this home will feature coming up.
Will the siren work? That's what the city of Amory is hoping. We'll explain in just a moment.
And we are seeing a lot of sunshine if you are heading out for your afternoon, but is that sunshine sticking around through the weekend?
A person is recovering after being stabbed at a Walmart. Plus, the long arm of the law finally caught up with a West Point man. We'll tell you what he's accused of doing. Teens recently came together to celebrate themselves. WTVA 9 News at Noon starts right now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WTVA 9 News.
Thanks for making WTVA 9 News at Noon your choice for news. I'm Tanya Carter. It's an exciting day. Construction is officially underway.
It will never be closed until somebody has been held accountable for it.
Tonight on News Watch 12 at 6, more than a decade later, Ashland police are still investigating the death of David Grubbs. News Watch 12 sat down with the chief of police for the latest update. Plus, some Southern Oregon developers have been awarded millions of dollars to create modular homes in the area. We'll share which communities will benefit coming up.
Tracking the next winter storms set to impact our region Sunday into Monday. Winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories have been posted. I'll have the details on travel impacts coming up.
Watching out for you. This is News Watch 12 at 6.
In our top story tonight, right now, the Ashland Police Department is asking for people for information regarding a murder from 13 years ago.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
With your first look at today's news, I'm Vinny Lavia. Happening now, community members will have to wait a little longer for answers about last week's deadly fire in downtown Escanaba.
Good evening to you. I'm Grace Blair. Cody Boyer isn't in the studio with me, but you'll see him shortly. Tonight on your TV6 Early News, changes in the FOIA process in Delta County, what you can expect next time you make a request, and how it models surrounding counties.
A sunny finish to our first Friday of February. Warmer days are coming in your full forecast.
The Valley Spur Classic Groomer fundraiser and race are happening this weekend. I'm Tristan Kendrick, and coming up, I'll be telling you more information about this and how you can sign up.
It's all ahead on your TV6 Early News, starting now.
From Upper Michigan Source, this is your TV6 Early News.
New tonight, Delta County is explaining why it is now charging for more Freedom of Information Act requests.
And here on our Friday, it was a bit cooler across the area today with the clouds around, but I am tracking some sunnier skies and potential for near record highs next week. We'll have a look at that in your forecast coming up.
Plus, the City of Austin is releasing its new tourism and city information app. What you need to know about the new Go Austin, Minnesota app.
KIMT News 3. Coverage you can count on. This is KIMT News 3 at 10.
Thank you so much for joining us for KIMT News 3 at 10. I'm Sonata McCall. New tonight, a new emergency alert system is being introduced in Olmsted County.
From your local news leader, this is KQ2 News at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on KQ2 News at 10. I'm Josepher Williams.
You're watching Island News.
Right now on Island News at 6, we have a wind advisory and weather alert days in effect. We'll let you know how strong the winds will get and how long they'll stick around.
And a new mode of transportation could be coming to make it easier for folks traveling throughout Maui County. Plus this.
Gambling greatly affects a person's job, family, and overall life.
Did a hearing about legalized sports betting in Hawaii get a little heated today? You betcha. Details next.
And games, rides, and Ono grinds, plus malasadas will take you out to day one of the Punahou Carnival.
Covering all of Hawaii, this is Island News at 6.
We begin tonight with a look outside at Honolulu, and you can see Diamond Head off in the distance.
What concerns me the most is how many different ways this region could completely erupt into full-scale war.
I don't think we need a wider war in the Middle East.
Tonight at 10, a retaliation strike in the Middle East. The reason behind the move by the U.S. military and how other governments are responding.
Also tonight, you're going to hear from supporters and detractors of the new gender identity bill now in the legislative session.
Live from News 7 KWWL, we've got you covered. This is KWWL News at 10.
Tonight, the U.S. military has launched a retaliation attack in Iraq and Syria after an Iranian-backed militant group killed 3 U.S. soldiers earlier this week. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for the news at 10. I'm Elizabeth Kling.
And I'm Ron Steele. Well, President Biden says tonight the United States is going to continue conducting these airstrikes in the Middle East at times and places, he said, of our choosing. He also
Coming up, a building collapses in Boise, leaving 3 people dead and 9 others injured. And the mother of a Michigan school shooter testifying in her own defense Thursday. Will have the very latest.
Plus, been keeping an eye on satellite radar throughout the day. It has had a couple of showers actually falling here. It has resulted in a few showers here in the Twin Falls. But are we going to see more widespread activity here over the next week? That answer coming up.
Your hometown station. You're watching KSVT News with Brittany Cooper and your weather with Chief Meteorologist Eric Brill. This is KSVT News at 9.
Thank you for joining us for News at 9 tonight. I'm Brittany Cooper. In our top story at this hour, the building collapse that happened at the Jackson Jet Center in Boise.
Coverage you can count on. This is Way 31 News at 10.
Tonight, the U.S. military moves into action, striking back hard against groups who launched a deadly drone attack on American forces in the Middle East.
New developments tonight for the woman accused of hitting 2 Huntsville police officers with her car. Why she'll stay locked up.
I'm Way 31's Maddie McCaffrey live in Decatur. Dozens of protesters make a defiant return to the streets of Decatur. What they're saying about Mayor Tab Bowling's demands for them to get a permit.
And we're clear right now in 31 triple Doppler, but I am tracking rain as we head into the end of our weekend. I'll give you those details coming up.
Good evening to you. I'm Mikkel Williams.
And I'm Dan Schaefer. First at 10, a show of defiance in Decatur.
Live from News 9 WAOW, this is News 9 at 10.
Tonight at 10, lawmakers push new efforts to address the state's workforce shortages.
So this is important because we got professionals that are bilingual, ready to go. They got work permits, they got social securities.
We dig into their latest proposal.
Plus, the latest out of Mosinee after a bomb threat to the district. A parent shares what went through his mind after hearing about it.
It was warm out today. It's going to get even warmer as we head into the weekend. I'll let you know when we could potentially see record highs.
And the results are in. Ocean Spray workers finalize their vote to unionize or not. Your News at 10 starts right now.
News 9 WAOW. We've got you covered.
Legislation could bring new opportunities for work here in Wisconsin. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jade Henschel.
And I'm Adam Rasmussen. A series of bills.
From WQOW, this is Eau Claire Zone News 18 10 p.m. report.
Thanks for choosing News 18. I'm Shannon Hoyt. It's a busy night in news and sports. So first tonight at 10.
From WXOW, this is La Crosse's Zone News 19 10 p.m. report.
New tonight at 10, the latest in the case against the teen charged with the killing of Lily Peters. Plus, the new federal action that's possible on PFAS contamination. But first, heart health in focus on this National Wear Red Day. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dustin Lukey. You may have noticed more people.
Coming up next, the names of the 3 people who died in Wednesday's tragic building collapse in Boise have been released. We'll have that update.
Hiring jumped in January, nearly double expectations. I'm Bradley Blackburn with the new jobs report and how some workers are still being laid off.
Plus, rain showers should be tapering off and highs in the mid-40s. But what can we expect for the weekend? Heather Ann will have more in your hometown first forecast for your News at Noon. That starts now.
Your hometown station. You're watching KMVT News with Gina Jameson and your weather with Heather Ann Wagner. This is KMVT News at noon.
Good afternoon, Southern Idaho, and thank you for tuning into your noon news. I'm Gina Jameson. The Ada County Coroner's Office.
News 18 at 11 starts now. WLFI Lafayette. News from where you live.
Good evening, I'm Marlene Thomas. The Purdue community came together tonight to say goodbye to one of their own.
Where the news comes first. You're watching News Channel 2 at 11.
New tonight, the U.S. has begun launching strikes in Iraq and Syria, the first retaliatory strikes for the killing of 3 American soldiers in Jordan this week. Also tonight, if you're looking for just the right thing to improve your home this spring, look no further than the Nexus Center this weekend. And a must-see play to win a game on Sports Express tonight. Oh, wait till you see it.
Now, the news with Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. The U.S. has launched a series of strikes in Iraq and Syria in response to an Iran-backed militant group's killing of 3 American soldiers.
This is WSMV4 News at 3.
Good afternoon.